Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows. I am your host, Papa Joe, and I do appreciate you guys and gals being here today. Grab your coffee and or favorite beverage. It's going to be a good show. Mm, that is still quite hot. Doing a Colombian mix today. Fun stuff for sure. All right. We're going to talk about Genesis. We're going to talk about Nexo. We're going to talk about FTX and some interesting news around FTX. Yeah. Also, I didn't think about doing this either, but why not? We are going to uh launch. Actually, no, never mind. We'll do that one maybe later. Anyways, that's what we're going to talk about today. Some interesting stuff. There is a lot of FUD going around. Trying to get me, to be concerned about the crypto market so that way we don't touch it. Well, the thing is like Bitcoin's sitting really nice right now. It is, but so is apparently Dow is up, and then Nasdaq is up, and all that fun stuff too. So we'll get into some of that here as well. But before we do that, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, give us a subscribe. Helps the channel grow, and also lets YouTube know that the content we produce is worth others finding out about. The likes do that as well, but y'all could do that later on this afternoon. No big deal. Or later on in the show if you like the content there. I appreciate it when y'all do that. What it does is it lets just let the algorithms know that we're not doing anything crazy over here. So anyways, that, and then check out the links in the description of the video. I've had several people reach out to me. Hey, I need help with X, Y, and Z. I do have a company where I consult and I give technical assistance, education, whatever you want to call it, around how crypto works, how blockchain works, and all that fun stuff. So anyways, check those out. I do Patreon in the afternoons on Fridays. So we'll see how all that fun stuff goes this afternoon. But before we get into that, we're gonna jump into an interesting little tidbit of news here today. So, crypto lender Genesis files for bankruptcy. It actually filed for bankruptcy. So, those of you involved in that, I'm really sorry, because a judge ruled that in the case of bankruptcy, anything on file or anything on deposit, it belongs to Genesis. So, Genesis may or may not end up doing the right thing and giving the money back to whoever owns it. We'll see what happens. I really don't know. I really am sorry. Barry Silbert's DCG, or Digital Currency Group's empire. It's a wonderful hit against him. Genesis Trading filed bankruptcy protection after the suffering crippling losses from the collapse of FTX and hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital. So they were all kind of, the thing is that it makes sense to get involved with each other, and from a business perspective to partner with different ones so that you can actually have the liquidity there for each other, that kind of stuff. But the thing is that when there's a contingent, whenever one of them is a fox, an in-house kind of thing, like FTX was, it is interesting to see how this will play out. There's some crazy, interesting stuff around FTX this afternoon, and there are, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this, shall we? Crypto lender Genesis filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection late Thursday night in Manhattan federal court. The latest casualty in industry contagion caused by the collapse of FTX, crippling blow to a business once at the heart of Barry Silbert's Digital Currency Group. The company listed over 100,000 creditors in a mega bankruptcy filing. 100,000 creditors, meaning your money on file there is now there. You are an unsecured creditor to them. Yeah, that's what that means. I hate it. This is why I tell everyone, keep your coins off of the exchanges. Okay, if you're going to use the exchange, use it as an exchange. Get them off when you're done. You know what I mean? You can't use it as a holding spot for all that stuff. 100,000 creditors with aggregated liabilities ranging from $1.2 billion to $11 billion. Y'all, that's huge. That's really big. Like, If I'm not mistaken, that's more than FTX was, wasn't it? Yeah, great times. 3 separate petitions were filed for Genesis holding companies. In a statement, that company noted that the companies were only involved in Genesis crypto lending businesses. In other words, goodbye Gemini. Gemini is owed 900 million from Genesis. It's gonna be fun week next week. The company's derivatives and spot trading businesses will continue unhindered, which makes sense. As will Genesis Global Trading. Again, also makes sense. It's the crypto lending businesses. In other words, it is the stuff that Gemini was connected with. I'm just connecting dots here, y'all. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. We look forward to advancing our dialogue with DCG or Digital Currency Group and our advisors as we seek to implement a path to maximize value and provide the best opportunity for our business to emerge well positioned for the future. Genesis interim CEO Dier Islam, I guess that's how you say their name. Anyways, said in a statement, the filing follows months of speculation over whether Genesis would enter bankruptcy protection, and just days after Securities and Exchange Commission filed suit against Genesis, its one-time partner, Gemini. Yeah, you see where this is going. Over the unregistered offering and sale of securities. Genesis listed a $765.9 million loan payable from Gemini on Thursday's filing. Other sizable claims include $78 million loan payable from Donut, a high-yield decentralized platform, and a Venek, I guess, fund, whatever, with a $53 million loan payable. Gemini co-founder Cameron Winklevoss initially responded to the news on Twitter, writing that Silbert, the DCG, continue to refuse to offer creditors a fair deal. That's because when you use their platform, it literally says in the terms of use that in a case of bankruptcy, all funds on deposit, whether it's a loan amount or whatever, I don't know what the loan agreement is, but in the case of bankruptcy, it becomes Genesis money. That is how those terms of use work. And those terms of use, you have to agree to use the platform. That is how that works. I've written terms of use. I've written white papers. I've written that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you that the legalese that is in those documents from a technology perspective, you have zero rights if something happens. You're using their platform. There are apps that I have found that will mine on your phone. They're gone now because the like Apple and Google pulled them. But the apps, there were little games. Then in the terms of use, if it's plugged into power and on Wi-Fi, in other words, at night, it would mine. It would mine crypto, and it would just follow the moon. But anyways, and it's in the terms of use. You agreed to have it on there. You're playing with it. You're using it during the day, etc., etc. But at night, they're using your device to create money for themselves. It was actually, I don't know what the ethics behind that would look like, but at the end of the day, like, create an app people want to have fun with and enjoy. Well, guess what? Now, it's paying them money just from being on your device. It's actually interesting. An interesting way of looking at that kind of stuff. Anyways, but the terms of use matter. When you go and you click I accept, you know, who reads those? I have. I usually do, especially since I've written some of them. Not nothing that's out there right now, but for like enterprise and stuff like that, I've written them. It's impressive to think about when you go to an exchange. You agree to their terms of use. You never read them. And this is the byproduct. Everyone involved now with Gemini is it, or not Gemini, Genesis is an unsecured creditor. Anyhow, he continues, we have been preparing to take direct legal action against Barry, DCG, and others, he continued. In other words, they're about to have a major lawsuit on their hands. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, Winklevoss concluded. In other words, get ready for a massive mudslinging event between the two. Gemini is not playing around. They have the money to do it. It's going to be crazy, y'all. Genesis is in negotiations with creditors, not the regular everyday people like you and me who would have had an account on there. I don't. I never have. Never will. I think I maybe read the terms of use. So I was like, nope. Look, y'all, don't keep your crap out there. If you're going to use the platform, use it. But when you're done, get it off. Don't leave it there. This is exactly why. It makes sense, I guess, to use these platforms. They are centralized, they're centrally controlled, but at the end of the day, you have zero control over your money while it's on there. It's theirs. That's how it works. Anyways, again, Genesis is in negotiations with creditors represented by law firms, Kinlan and Ellis, and prosecutor, I guess, Rose. I guess that's how you say it, whatever. Sources familiar with the matter told in CNBC the bankruptcy puts Genesis alongside other fallen crypto exchanges, including BlockFi, FTX, Celsius, and Voyager. Then there's 3 Arts Capital. Then there's, y'all, there is something going on, and this is all orchestrated and on purpose. By June, July this year, you'll start to see the Federal Reserve. Well, we've been testing this CBDC stuff, and we think it works, and we're going to launch this, and y'all are going to use this from going forward. The U.S. dollar is no more. It is now the CBDC, blah, 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 blah. Well, y'all know that BRICS actually all just signed together to create a new currency. It is a CBDC as well, but it is backed by precious metals. I don't think this is going to be backed by anything this Federal Reserve creates, so we'll see. There is another play going on where there will be probably some sort of digital currency that is backed by physical metals, physical commodities of some sort. But it depends on who wins. There seems to be some sort of internal faction fighting there that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. We'll see what happens. That'll be more of a Patreon discussion. I do have that, by the way. Patreon, it is listed in the description of the video. I do that so that I can take the gloves off, have a conversation about things that would get this channel taken down. So if you're interested in more in-depth conversations with me around that, and a lot of you are, and those of you are, I really do appreciate it. It does. In fact, it's not much, but it gets me that coffee every day, y'all. So those of you, really thank you. It does mean a lot. Anyways, so Genesis, yeehaw, crypto lender, Nexo is fined $45 million as crackdown widens. So the SEC is going after these exchanges now because they're centralized. They can't go after Bitcoin because they can't control it, and they even say it. Anyways, it's the latest cryptocurrency company to draw scrutiny from regulators whose efforts to rein in the industry have intensified after the collapse of FTX. The cryptocurrency lending firm Nexo was fined $45 million for violating federal securities law. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, announced on Thursday the latest in a string of enforcement actions that the U.S. regulators have taken to crack down on misconduct in the crypto industry. Starting in 2020, Nexo allowed customers in the United States to hand over their cryptocurrency savings and earned interest on those funds. The SEC said the agency found that the interest program qualified as a security. Okay, and the Nexo had failed to properly register. Yeah. Whatever. So banks giving you interest on your savings account, which is nothing, are those securities? Anyways, Nexo settled the charges without admitting wrongdoing. The company agreed to pay $22.5 million fine to the SEC, an additional $22.5 million to settle charges by state regulators. We charged Nexo with failing to register its retail crypto lending product before offering to the public, bypassing essential disclosure agreement or requirements designed to protect investors. Blah 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 blah. Okay, another one. Yeehaw. K. This is an interesting little curveball. I actually didn't see this coming. Well, maybe I did, but I didn't see it coming as soon. We'll put it that way. New FTX chief says crypto exchange could restart. So John J. Ray III, he is a CEO that specializes in bankruptcies. Basically, once they go clear out all the crap, every once in a while you can actually have a viable company afterwards. And it looks like they might be trying to potentially do that. In his first public interview since taking over the failed cryptocurrency exchange, John J. Ray III said that he's open to the idea of rebooting operations. Now, FTX actually had some interesting platform. Well, I could see everything. I have another article we'll go through in just a second. FTX new chief executive, John J. Ray, said he's looking into the possibility of reviving the bankrupt crypto exchange as he works to return money to the failed company or to the failed company's customers and creditors, which is rare because FTX had the terms of use that they didn't have to repay you. You become an unsecured creditor. So he's actually working to pay people back to get their money back to them. It's interesting. In his first interview since taking over FTX in November, Mr. Ray said that he has set up a task force to explore restarting FTX.com, the company's main international exchange. Although top FTX executives have been accused of criminal misconduct, some customers have praised this technology and suggested that there would be value in rebooting the platform, which means in bankruptcy court, somebody may be trying, I don't know. Interesting. FTX token jumps after CEO says viable business could emerge from bankruptcy. FTX CEO John J. Ray said Thursday he's open to reviving the bankruptcy exchange or bankrupt exchange if the move provides a pathway to return money to crypto trading venues, customers, and other creditors. In other words, the only way he would do it is if the creditors and customers were repaid. So everything is on the table, he said. In a Wall Street Journal interview published on Thursday, there are stakeholders we're working with who've identified what they see as a viable business. In other words, there are people with money who want to get this going again, be able to have a platform that is running and providing a service to people. Now, if it's appropriately done, legally done, it actually might be successful. FTX could come out on top of all of the other exchanges if the right people take over who know what they're doing with business. So, I don't know what's happening here with FTX. FTX could eventually come back with the appropriate leadership. It wouldn't be a bad thing. Anyway, something to kind of keep an eye on, y'all. I mean, we know everything that happened with SBF and all the other crap that they were doing with all that stuff. So we'll see, the right people coming in, doing the right thing. I have some doors to knock on to find out what's really going on. I need to go check on some things. Anyways, let's check out here. Bitcoin is up today. So is the NASDAQ and the Dow and the S&P 500. So I don't know what we're going to see over the next few days, where this is going to go. Gold looks like it's heading down a little bit. Silver looks like it is as well. Divvy had a spike up, then a spike down. They did an announcement today. If you were watching that live, you really should. They're partnering with Presearch, which is who I prefer. Let's just go look at Divvy. Let's do a simple search here. Presearch. Really cool stuff here. Guess what? You earn crypto just by searching. It's very little, but you're still learning crypto. Pretty cool stuff. You can run a node and all this other stuff is really, really neat. Anyways, so Presearch is a search engine that is blockchain based. It strips your information as you search. Very, very cool stuff. Let's see here. So, let's see. Matic looks like it's trying to come back as well. Axie is as well. Shiba's been in the news recently. Not entirely sure what they're doing, but there is some interesting stuff going on there. It looks like not really looking at XRP too much. Okay, so mortgage rates are ticking back down. Interesting. Litecoin is also spiking up. And then let's see, what is the Dixie doing? Dixie is slightly coming up too. So, anyways, crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff going on in the world. I'm gonna watch what's going on with these things, especially with the FTX stuff. That is interesting to me, at least. Looks like you guys have had a great conversation. I'm gonna jump through and say hey to everyone. I appreciate y'all being here today. What's going on, Lithia? Good morning. How are you? Appreciate you being here. John Gibson, looking forward to hearing Papa Joe and not panicking. Yeah. Also, hello to everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I shall. It's another year around the sun for me this weekend, so we'll see what happens. Should be a fun weekend. I don't know what we're doing yet, but going to for sure relax. Let's see here. We've got Tom. What's going on, brother? Thanks for being here as always. And Daddy-O, man. How's it going, man? Appreciate you being here. From down under. The Mason Dixon line. You in the South, bro. I love it. Thanks for being here today. Busy Mountain, what's up, brother? Thanks for being part of the show. You guys have a great conversation. Clint Westwood in the house. Dude, what's going on, man? Thanks for being here. Looks like you are enjoying some bourbon. Hopefully your cleanse went well. And yeah, it'll be interesting. Live or interesting. Oh, it's a happy hour this afternoon for you. I love it. All right, let's see here. Who else we got here? Trinity SS. What's up, brother? Thanks for being part of the show, man. As always. Who else we got here today? Gloria. Good morning. Good afternoon, I think, for you. Appreciate you being part of the show. Let's see. Trinity, dang it, should have bought more Bitcoin at 16. Is this stuff gonna clear out the meek? Yeah, so the weekends, it might. Go low again. If so, Viva is ready for me. Fantastic, brother. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Johnny Holder, what's going on, dude? Thanks for being part of the show, man. Hopefully you are doing well. Beast Mountain Nexo is still trying to gain my support via email. Not wow, for real. No, I'm just not doing that. No. This is something that a lot of people like. I'll go check out the different things that come out, like Nexo, BlockFi, all these different things that have come out. Like, go check them out and everything. I don't even think I opened an account for any of them, because I know some of them you have to open an account to actually go in and see what the features are and whatnot. I just kind of was like, nah. I just keep doing what I'm doing. It's working. Trinity, FTX reboot, really? I promise I'll never strike you again or I'm reformed. I tell you. Yeah, right. Kick rocks, Johnny. So, Trinity. Yeah, but if it's under different leadership, entirely different C-suite, and an entirely separate business model that goes into place, the technology, I mean, like infrastructure of an exchange is hard to build, takes time to build, and then is expensive to build. But if you can have all that and in a bankruptcy event and you have the right leadership come in who actually know what they're doing, just because the name is FTX doesn't mean the infrastructure can't be repurposed and relaunched, if you will. So it's like how do I explain this? It's like you have a bunch of crap build up and then like you do a cleanse, or you're not like repainting the house, you're like cleaning all the crap out and letting the water flow appropriately, kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I really don't know. Keep an eye on it though. It should be interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why anyone touches FTX. Just pay for their boo-boo. If they're working to try to pay people back, you got to look at it differently, y'all. any company that's gone bankrupt, somebody somewhere goes and acquires it. Some other company goes and acquires it, puts it into the fold, if you will, and uses the technology for another reason, for good, usually, most of the time. So I've been a part of acquisitions. I've been a part of different types of stuff where you go in and you basically take over another company and you put it under your fold and it becomes a separate company entirely. But the technology that you're obtaining by doing that always benefits the other company when whatever it is. So this is either, I don't think it's a hostile takeover, but I could see someone acquiring FTX in some regard and probably rebranding, getting rid of all the crud and crap, and then utilizing the technology with the appropriate in an appropriate way. So I don't know. Keep an eye on is all I'm saying, because if that is the appropriate, if that happens, then it will continue on as another exchange. So we'll see is basically what I'm getting at. We'll see, right? If you have the right kind of people in there, we'll see. SBF, the leadership that was there, they're gone. They're in jail. They're gone. So I don't know. Busy man, one of my best questions I heard, one of the best questions I heard regarding FTX: why do all these huge mature investors, funds, etc., invest in SBF, excuse me, with no history and no good product? It's a very good question. Very good question. Money was there. I think it was used, as I mentioned on the Patreon show, for political gain, and I'm going to leave it at that. You go watch whatchamacallit, the show on Patreon, and I did cover it. So, anyways, y'all have yeah, Trinity. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. It's gonna be a good weekend, I think. Trinity SS, PAPAJO, FTX. Maybe if they are long-term players, FTX flip and sell. I'm not interested. only worth commitment admission does it get fixed. Yep. So you and I need to grab some lunch, and I will explain some things to you on that one. So, anyways, you'll have a beautiful, blessed rest of the day. Check into the Patreon show this afternoon. If you're not part of the Patreon, it's $5 a month per month, right? So that's it. And then the more people I have in there, the more people get to hear the information, and it's great. So y'all are great for being part of it, and I really, like I said, that's my coffee. It really is. So, anyways, y'all be blessed. Have a beautiful rest of the day. And we'll see you on the Patreon this afternoon. Take it easy.